Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Sherry Jimenez. I serve as the Senior Associate Dean for Interprofessional Education, Simulation, and Accreditation here at LMU DCOM. I also have the privilege of serving as the Gold Humanism Honor Society Chapter Advisor. I wanted to just give you a brief look at our itinerary for this evening. And without further ado, would like to invite Dr. Loike to say a few words, please.
Thank you, Dr. Meadows. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this year's induction for the Gold Humanism Honor Society. I'd like to certainly welcome all the inductees and a special welcome to family and friends who are listening in. You know, the honor of this induction really bears testimony not only to your commitment to providing compassionate care, but your commitment to serving as an exemplar, as a role model for others, providing compassionate care. This, to me, is really the heart and soul of medicine, not just osteopathic medicine, but medicine in general. You know, when you think about the first time that you decided to become a physician, and if you can just take a moment and think back, whenever that was it grade school? Was it high school? Was it really in the past few years? You know, what was it in that moment that made you decide to want to make your life's work taking care of other people? More than likely, you know, empathy, compassion, concern for others, and service were deeply rooted in that decision. And this induction, this new chapter for you really serves as a hallmark of that. So on behalf of DCOM administration, faculty, and staff, I certainly want to congratulate you and let you know that we're proud of you. And I wish you all well. Dr. Menace, back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Loike. This evening, we have Dr. Paula Archer that will be giving a keynote address. She was this year's Leonard Tao Humanism in Medicine Award recipient and therefore a member of the Gold Humanism Honor Society chapter here at DCOM. So welcome, Dr. Archer.
Thank you very much. So when I Googled very rapidly what a keynote speech should be, my first thought was, darn it, Dr. Loike must be busy because he's good at giving these, and I am terrified to give this. The second thing I thought of was, how long does this need to be? I've seen some of these that are an hour long. I've seen much longer than that were extremely inspiring, but Google told me that they needed to be 30 to 45 minutes to it all make an impact. I kind of disagree with Google in that we expect you as physicians to make an impact in a much shorter time. So please don't be upset if the speech takes far less than 30 minutes. I just want to talk to you guys. I listen to a lot of podcasts on my drive to work. One of them is called A Bit of Optimism. The podcaster is Simon Sinek. He's renowned for saying, start with your why. The concept is that from your why, you can then develop the how and the what. So kind of as Dr. Loike alluded to, we're going to just take a moment. I would just want everyone to close your eyes, sit upright, but not stiffly. Take a few slow, deep breaths and try and let go of any of your invading thoughts. No thinking about comats right now. Try and let go of that patient that you saw just a few minutes ago. And I do want you to remember back to your years before medical school. Think about what really drew you to medicine. Don't just think about what you put on your application, but the real why. Not even just the what, not the moment, but why. What did you want to do? I'm going to give you all 30 seconds or a minute to think about that. Many of you probably thought about your beliefs in dignity, empathy, the human connection, and healing. You may have had an experience with either a really good example of humanism or possibly even a bad one that made you want to do things differently. These thoughts all align with the why of the Gold Humanism Honor Society. GHHS is an honor society that recognizes individuals who are exemplars of compassionate patient care, serving as role models, mentors, and humanistic leaders in medicine. And that's not only for your patients, but it is for your fellow physicians. It's for everyone you work with. I was very proud to be the Gold Humanism Honor Leonard Tao Award recipient, but I was even more honored because I actually got inducted, as most of you are now. I got inducted as a third-year medical student from my school, and just knowing that my other classmates thought that way of me made me very proud. Okay. So after we think about our why, now we can talk about the how. What is your purpose? Our purpose, or our why, motivates us, but our how turns those values into reality. For Gold Humanism Honor Society, the how is through excellence in medicine, but not only in your knowledge or your techniques. It's about integrity, humility, and lifting others up with compassion, respect, and empathy. I want to tell you about a time when pursuing excellence through compassion made a difference. A 55-year-old woman was admitted to the hospital for a stroke workup. It was too late for any thrombolytics or fibrinolytics. For those of you who aren't in medicine, that's just the clot busters to help clear the stroke. The next morning on rounds, the young intern listened to the patient's whole story. They spent an hour with the patient discussing every concern, despite the patient's hallucinations that were filling her new post-stroke blind spots. Her biggest complaint was the pain in her feet. The attending and the senior resident all just chalked this up to diabetes. The intern really dove into the records because this was the most concerning thing for her patient. Once finding the records, he found that the person's A1C, a test for diabetes, was totally normal. But no one had ever checked a patient's B12, and she thought, hey, this is something that could possibly be it. We'll check it out. They drew the B12 level and ordered a shot. Very quickly, the shot made the patient better. I will always be proud of that intern and their willingness to listen, which led to them to excellent, and to the senior resident, who was willing to listen to the intern with humility. Sometimes you won't be the person with the bright idea, but we can all learn things and become more excellent by listening to our patients and to those around us with compassion, respect, empathy, and humility. So now that we've thought about our why and our how, let's talk about what. At its core, humanism is choosing to see the person, not just the patient, to sit in empathy when the schedules crowd us, to remember that each interaction is an opportunity to affirm dignity. I'd like to share a moment when humanism truly came alive. This is not a story about me, but it's one that inspired me. I was a third-year medical student on my pediatrics rotation. I had seen a lot of snotty kids, and I was really getting bored. I had been passed off to an MD who knew nothing about osteopathic medicine, which was one of my passions, and I was frustrated. My preceptor told me about the next patient I was going to see. It was a 6-year-old boy. The parents brought him in for hip pain. Normally, this might not be a big deal, but this boy had an older sibling who just passed away and had been initially diagnosed with leukemia at the age of 7 years old. I was instructed to do the most thorough physical exam of my entire life. I hadn't really thought of it before, but this was for the parents. This was for them. This was for that boy who had seen his older brother pass away. It was for everyone's peace of mind. The ending of the story is gladly anticlimactic. I did the physical. I found some bumps and bruises the parents hadn't, and I figured out he had forgotten that he'd fallen on the playground and gave himself a pelvic dysfunction. I treated that, and all were happy. But that boy stays with me all the time, as does the preceptor. They taught me humanism, and they taught me to employ my humanism, to really think beyond the immediate situation, to think about what everyone needs in that situation, not just the child, not just the physician. We're not just checking boxes. We are doing everything we can to make people feel like humans. Through compassionate listening, presence, and advocacy, you will show humanism to your patients. Some of you are naturally good at this. Some of you have had to learn it. Either way, humanism does get hard to maintain. There will be times that you're tired, you don't want to hold a hand. Someone treats you poorly, or maybe that life seems harder than your patients. In those moments, you need to do as we did at the beginning. You need to take a few deep breaths and remember your why. If we put all of this together, we get our why, our how, and our what. Why? To serve others through medicine. How? With excellence tempered by empathy, compassion, and humility. What? To become the kind of healthcare professional who embodies the Gold Humanism Honor Society values and inspires others. On those hard days, whether you're in medicine or in any other field, maybe you're one of the professors listening to this, remember your why and let it fuel you. Take a deep breath, ask yourself, what is my why? What stories fuel my purpose? How will I show humanism, excellence, and humility in my daily work? Let us lean into our communities, learn from our patients, serve with humility, and carry that humanism forward, one moment of compassion at a time. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Archer. At this time, we would like to recognize all of the Class of 2026 Gold Humanism Honor Society inductees to the LMU DCOM chapter. I'd like to thank my colleague, Mr. Engel, who is on to help with technology. Are you able to simply get control of the share, or would you like me to unshare, sir?
And that was the final slide.
Thank you, Mr. Engel. And once again, congratulations to our new inductees from the class of 2026. And now I'd like to invite Dr. Archer to lead the new inductees in the oath, please.
Dr. Jimenez, are we having them all unmute or we're just doing it silent?
Yes, absolutely. I'm still questioning whether or not we can all talk in unison. But yes, we invited all the inductees as panelists, so you are all most welcome to unmute and to follow Dr. Archer.
All right. The Gold Humanism Honor Society Oath. I pledge by all that I hold dear as a physician, I will care for my patients with compassion, respect, empathy, integrity, and clinical excellence. I will listen to my patients with my whole being. I will advocate for each patient as a unique individual. I will serve as a role model and mentor and to promote humanism in healthcare. I will remember always the healing power of acts of caring. I will dedicate myself to joining with others to make healthcare optimal for all.
Thank you. So everyone, next steps. I've provided you here ways to get connected with the Gold Humanism Honor Society. There is a Facebook group and an Instagram group. So we encourage you to get connected. We did receive pins today, and we also have certificates in PDF format. So we will be getting those out to you as soon as we can. You will receive a Qualtrics survey requesting the appropriate address that we can send these things to. So if you would kindly respond as soon as you can, we will get these materials to you. And then this is just a video you can see at your leisure, all about Gold Humanism Honor Society. And of course, they have a full website of resources, ongoing webinars, and different types of activities that you can plug into. And with that, I will just say congratulations to the LMU DCOM GHHS chapter, class of 2026. Thanks for joining, and thanks for all of your family and loved ones that came along to recognize you as well. And I will say thank you also some of the faculty and staff that were part of the committee, the advisory committee. They're also on. I see Dr. Mondal, and I'm sure there are other folks on. I thought I saw Ms. Drittler, and so I didn't want to be remiss and not recognize them and all the work that they've done to get us to the point where we were able to recognize these students tonight. So thank you, everyone, and have a pleasant evening.